Coming up on Bear News.
It is very much a gathering of like nerds and geeks and people passionate about, a hobby.
We take a spin into what keeps these record stores going.
We bought the trailer in 2024.
Hear the buzz about the newest coffee trailer.
We're giving out a bunch of free stuff.
And nurture some new connections. Bear News starts now. Good afternoon, Bears. I'm Alicia Flores, and you might be wondering, where's Jalen? Well, Jalen and a few other of my colleagues caught a flight to Las Vegas to give a very special presentation. I personally can't wait to see how they do and what they talk about. But don't worry, guys, I can hold down the fort. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we jump into current events, you may have heard about the Voices of the Holocaust events taking place in Greeley last week. Starting on the 12th, Greeley has been the host of a wide selection of events that aim to educate, inform, and honor the voices of the Holocaust. One major event included a keynote given by Sylvia Ruth Guttman at Ames Community College. In her speech, she discussed themes of family, resilience, and rebuilding character following tragedy.
Who is my surrogate mom, my person. She loved me unconditionally, no matter how messed up I was, how crazy, how selfish, how greedy, how needy. Loved me no matter what.
But that was just one event from the whole week of Remembrance. Make sure you tune in next Monday to get the full picture. More than 400 drivers are off the road today after a driving school was shut down for fraud. The state suspended the Academy School of Driving in Colorado Springs following a deep dive investigations. Officials say the school engaged in systematic fraud, including shortened road tests, written exam cheating, and financial exploitation. Now, hundreds of former students are left scrambling to retake their tests and are fighting to get their money back. Even for the people who aren't affected, this is still a worrying situation.
I didn't think especially a school that I would get my driver's license from would have committed that type of thing. It was kind of crazy to figure out.
Recently, findings of Cesar Chavez sexually assaulting co-workers and children have came to light. With the findings, UNC is getting ready to make some changes. On Thursday, students received a survey from Student Affairs asking their thoughts on renaming the Cesar Chavez Cultural Center. The questionnaire sought out feedback on the renaming process and what a potential new identity for the center should look like moving forward. Nowadays, I listen to Spotify in my car all the time, but sometimes it's fun to kick it old school. Over the weekend, Bear reporter TJ Gurney and Rowan Nicodemus took a spin at the record stores.
All right, thank you guys. Well, I'm down here in sunny Fort Collins. It is a beautiful day over here. I tried to get here a little bit early because last year I got here about on time and the line was way too long, so hopefully I got enough clearance now. Let's head over there and check it out.
But even a couple hours early isn't enough to get you a front row seat at All Sales Vinyl. Just the day prior, the streets were dead quiet with the cold. But now, the line wraps around the block.
Last April, our record store day line, before we opened, went down the street and around the block and almost curled around the next block. We had people show up before the sun was down the day before, which is wild.
And the story seems to be the same for this year, as people gathered as early as 8 p.m. the night prior to camp out. All of this to, hopefully, get a chance to snag the new releases from their favorite artists.
So Record Store Day is sort of an international celebration of vinyl records and those that engage with the collector's hobby. A lot of people north of Denver come here first, and then we get people from Wyoming coming down. And it's really interesting, actually, as the day goes on, you see these waves of people.
And Sean wasn't joking. Passionate music fans were allowed in as groups to accommodate the small size of the store. In the back section was where the action was at. Exclusive Record Store Day releases for the real fans out there. And near the front, Record Store Day general releases. More accessible records to buy while still giving that special experience of the search. And yet, even with the hectic lines and the large groups, first-timers still had good things to say about the experience.
Been a hi-fi and music fan since, since I can remember. It's my first time. Even though I have a collection of about 500 records, my first time Record Store Day, kind of fun.
But sometimes the search doesn't end at just one store.
I was down here in Fort Collins looking for the new Ethel Cain album, but unfortunately we got here a little too late and I wasn't able to get my hands on it, but I got my hands on a bunch of other cool records.
Hey, a little friendly competition never hurts though. But at the end of the day, it's a time to appreciate your fellow music fans and go where you know everyone has the same goal.
I mean, it means a lot of things. Access to stuff that you never thought you'd see. Also, it literally is a coming together of community. It is very much a gathering of like nerds and geeks and people passionate about, you know, a hobby.
Well, it was a busy day down here for All Sales Vinyl. It's great to see the community come together. Me, myself, I'm a huge music collector, but I wasn't able to get my hands on anything cool. So, Rowan, hopefully you had better luck over there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, TJ, I can hear you loud and clear. Here in downtown is the Downtown Sound, the heart of all record lovers.
Record Store Day is has been around for a while now. I think it may be going on 15, 20 years.
On Saturday, Greeley residents celebrated the 18th annual Record Store Day at our locally owned record shop, Downtown Sound. People were able to buy their favorite records or their most desired new print. Whether you are young or old, there are plenty of records for music lovers of all ages. Even though customers play a big part of Record Store Day, they aren't the only ones who benefit from it.
I mean, today's our biggest day of the year for sales, for sure. It's also our biggest day for purchasing through the year, so they kind of cancel each other out.
So be prepared and start marking your calendars for the next Record Store Day, which will be held April 17th, 2027, and keep an eye out for what new limited vinyls you can get your hands on.
Physical media is making a huge comeback, and people are realizing after a few years of everything just being streamed that there really is a value in holding something in your hand.
And this is Rowan Nicodemus with Bear News. Now passing off to Alicia at the desk.
Wow, it looks like Record Day was a huge hit. When we come back, we'll hear about a new coffee store, we'll hear about a farmer's market on campus, and some barking at a local library. Anyways, we'll see you guys soon.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back, Bears. You know, the birds are chirping and the flowers are blossoming. If you couldn't get enough of spring already, our Bears definitely know how to take it one step further.
With the end of the semester creeping up on us, flowers aren't the only thing blooming. Clubs, organizations, and local businesses are too.
Students walk by here and it's really nice exposure. For us, especially since we're downtown, we're a little bit separated from the campus, so it's been really great.
The SGA hosted Bloom with the Bears at the UC patios. The event allowed clubs and organizations to not only raise funds, but to get their name out there as well.
We've been trying to connect more with the community. We're a really smaller club here at UNC, so we're just trying to grow and connect with our community.
Students were able to enjoy some cotton candy, receive college essentials, and even have a chance to win some cool prizes.
Free stickers, 50% off any drink in the cafe. We're giving out free concert tickets.
While the cotton candy may be gone, the connections made are just starting to take root.
Making new connections may be hard to come by, or sometimes they're driving right past you. A new coffee place is in town, and this isn't your average old cup of joe. This coffee is on wheels.
Honeybee Coffee Company is bringing different kinds of lattes, espressos, and energy infusions to get the day started. Jessica Sains, the owner, opened her business last year.
So yeah, I just wanted something where I can have my kids in here with me while I'm working, while my older ones are at school, and just something I can show them and they can be proud of me for.
Every month they feature a new menu to add to the taste. For Sains, the road wasn't always easy in the beginning.
I've been told no a lot. It's just putting yourself out there. If people want what they're used to, you know, they're not really willing to try other things.
But now she's up and running for the community and inspiring other people to start their own business.
And it's hard work, but it's fun. You get to meet a lot of people, and people are really welcoming once, you know, they know what you have. And
you know, since I'm graduating soon, I've been looking for new clubs to join before my time is done. Bear News reporter TJ Gurney tossed an idea.
We're still one of the smallest clubs on campus, and like even if I'm just out playing during the school day or things like that, every once in a while I'll still get some looks from passerbys and things like that. For the majority, we do practice here. It's nice to have a course on campus, so not having to really get in your car and drive anywhere is nice, but there are also a couple other courses in Greeley that we'll go to from time to time.
The course that Evan is talking about is Ursa Major, and you've probably even seen the goals posted throughout campus. And though students may see the group in passing, the Frisbee Golf Club remains one of the smallest, as they have less than 10 members.
Disc golf is such a big community worldwide that like for us to only have 8 people here seems a little surprising to me. We're hosting tournaments pretty regularly, kind of trying to make sure people know that we're out here. We also use Bear Connect and our Instagram page to kind of try and reach out to people that way as well.
But the club itself is not entirely competitive. In fact, the team opens their arms to anyone interested in trying the sport.
They're very accommodating. I mean, we go out 4 days a week, but you only have to show up to a certain amount of practices or whatever. So it's very, you know, play when you can. We'll be happy to see you when you're there.
So the next time you hear the sound on campus, maybe stop by and see why this sport is a hole-in-one, even when it's not on the first try.
Oh my God, I used all of my putters.
TJ Gurney, Bear News, signing off.
Thank you, TJ. I'll have to go and check them out sometime, but while I'm a cat person, I know some like to play fetch. Bear reporter Kinsley Walker heard some barking at the library.
In the children's section at the Centennial Library, you can find therapy dogs the second Monday of every month. But what are they even doing there? Children gather with these pups to read them books in hopes of de-stressing from their busy days in elementary school. An event called Pause to Read. There are loads of different dog-themed books the children can choose from to read to these different furry friends. There is Albert, who thinks cameras are a little scary, Poppy, who was just excited to be there, and Tori, who thought it was just a little warm in the library. But there was one who is everyone's absolute favorite.
This is Samson.
Samson is a certified therapy dog that began his training over 6 years ago, and he is following in his dad's footsteps of serving the community.
He's my second dog. I'm a retired firefighter, and it was on my bucket list to share him. So we work with the library, we work with counseling services, we do hospital visits at Northern Colorado Medical Center. So it's about him giving back, be able to give back. So that's kind of what we've done.
Even through Samson's hard work, he really does love listening to children read to him, even if he does get a little sleepy.
Thank you, Kinsley. I hope the library allows cats because I know my Via would love to be there. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning into today's show, and don't worry, you'll see Jalen and Kinsley on Wednesday. Bye.